would be friendlier to Africa. Yet we've seen even in history that probably sometimes even Republican administrations are fairer to African states. Issues like PEPFAR came from a Republican administration. So this assumption that a Republican president may not really be friendly to Africa, is it really true?
Oh, and let me begin by saying that to congratulate Donald Trump on his inauguration, upcoming inauguration. Is deserved it, getting a second chance against all odds. So congratulate him. Also congratulate what you call the handing over of power in the U.S. It's very smooth, whether you liked it or not. The outgoing President Biden went very quietly, and there's no issues. So I want to congratulate the Republicans. Come back. I agree with you that there's a tendency for people to think that the Democrats are kinder to Africans than the Republicans. That's not true. My experience is actually that Republican policies are quite soft, quite progressive when it comes to Africa. And as we've seen, sometimes people thought that when Obama became president, we thought maybe things would now be easy for us. It didn't necessarily become easy for us. And Donald Trump might not visit a lot of African countries, but the policies that the Republicans put in place, his policies will probably favor us in other ways. And also, you must realize that the world actually may put Africa down, but they realize that they need Africa all the time. Africa is an open market. Africa is the potential market for everybody. For everything that you need to sell, Africa is available. And then Africa is also a mineral rich, and a lot of the minerals that are needed for technology are actually based here in Africa. And everybody would want to have a piece of Africa. And so whether you like it or not, you have to develop very friendly policies towards Africa in a way, condemning in some ways, but necessarily finding a way of getting some of the resources that belong to Africa. We have very interesting resources here. The Democratic government of Joe Biden sent here an ambassador who had a different approach. Mm-hmm. Meg almost became a member of the Kenya cabinet. She as though she was actually part of this government. And so now she's gone. We look forward to seeing the Republican ambassador who is coming. My tendency is, I think, that the Republican ambassadors tend to hold us to account more. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we're going to see. They are friends, but they will hold us to account on issues that are, for example, sensitive issues like the current situation of abductions and so on. They have already spoken, and they will hold us to account on those particular matters. Mm-hmm. So I think we should be looking forward to a great 4 years with Donald Trump. I mean, he has other issues he's dealing with. He's dealing with the Middle East and the borders and so on. But I think the policies towards Africa, well, we wait to see who is sent to the African countries as ambassadors.
But we've seen the kind of relationship that this administration and President William Ruto, and you mentioned part of it, has had with the Biden administration, Meg Whitman, the state visit, it's not even a year gone by. And that probably Kenya would have hoped that the Democratic or Joe Biden's administration would have lingered a little longer, at least even through extension by Kamala Harris. But now that everything changes, do you really expect that a lot will change for Kenya in as far as the relationship between this administration and Donald Trump?